Hello, parents. This is Ms. Zaravar, and I would like to take this opportunity to talk to you briefly about our standards-based report cards. Now, these standard-based report cards are for students in kinder, first, and second grade. So I certainly hope that you find this little clip informative. Thank you. Standards-based reporting involves determining each student's proficiency on the skills that students should learn in each subject area of each grade level. Now, these standards are set by the Texas Education Agency, and these, remember, are end-of-year expectations. So when you see in your child's report card, or their standards-based report card, the knowledge skills statements listed, these are expectations for your child for the end of the school year. Each subject is divided into a list of knowledge and skills that students are responsible for learning. And within each knowledge and skills, there's a series of sub-skills that need to be taught. Now let's take a moment to look at an actual standard-based report card. If you notice in this first page, you're going to find your child's name, ID number, and all relevant information like teacher and attendance. And you are also going to find a key that shows you the student mastery levels. Whenever you see an asterisk, that means that that skill has not been taught at all for that 6-week period. So don't be concerned if you see an asterisk. That means that it just simply hasn't been taught. Then you have different levels. If you see the letter M, that means that your child has achieved mastery. At the beginning of the school year, this is not something that you're really going to see much because remember, these are end of year standards. So there's still a lot of content that has to be taught. But that M means that the student has demonstrated independent achievement and mastery of all key concepts, vocabulary, processes, and skills of the grade level expectation. So we definitely want our students reaching that M level by the end of the year, but please remember that this is an end of year expectation. You are not really going to see that anywhere in the beginning of the school year. The next letter that you are going to see is the letter A, and that stands for Approaching Mastery of Standard. And that means that the student understands, grasps, and applies most key concepts, vocabulary, processes, and skills. So when you see that A, it will let you know that your child is making adequate progress toward full mastery of the assigned concepts. And that A indicates a positive move towards mastery. And you may see some A's, but mostly, especially at the beginning of the year, you are going to see the letter B. And what the letter B stands for is that is the beginning progress towards standard. That means that the student understands and grasps few to some of the key concepts, vocabulary, processes, and skills related to the standard. Please remember at the beginning of the year that we are still working towards that end of year expectation, so you are going to see quite a few of that letter B. Please make sure to reach out to your teachers if you have any questions, but be reassured that teachers will communicate with you if they see a specific area of concern or something that they believe that you should be helping your child or focusing on. Also on this page 1, you're going to see the technology, application, and the social emotional development. So that is all for page 1. The next page of the report card gives you information about the language arts reading, science, math, and social studies. If you notice, there are a series of statements or skills that are written in each one of these sections, and that represents those skills that we need to ensure that we have mastery at the end of the school year. If you go on to the next slide, I am going to take a more in-depth look on that composition writing process to explain more or less what the teachers are looking at as a score. You will see as parents just one statement, but I want to show you what is incorporated into that one skill statement. So if you can go on to the next slide and I will go more in depth. If you notice from the previous slide, I had highlighted the specific writing component that we're going to look at. At the top, you see what you see in your standard-based report card, which is a statement uses the writing process recursively to compose multiple texts that are legible and uses appropriate conventions. So that is the statement that you see in your standards-based report card. Now, I want to show you right underneath what the teacher is actually seeing. So notice that this is K10. That is the TEK that we are looking at. That's the knowledge and skills that we're looking at. And notice that the statement is the same statement, but right underneath it lists the student expectations. So if you notice, there's a K.10a, B, C, all the way down to E. Notice that K.10d actually has multiple sub-skills that are listed right there. So if you look across, it shows that mastery is expected in this particular skill at the end of the school year. Now, if you look at the first 6 weeks with that letter I, that shows you where the standard is introduced. So let's take for example, K.10a. Plan by generating ideas for writing through class discussions and drawings. Notice that it is introduced in the first 6 weeks. It's spiraled and reviewed in the second, third, fourth, fifth 6 weeks periods, and then in the sixth 6 weeks, mastery is expected. But if you go down to K.10c, notice that this concept is not introduced until the third 6 week period, and that is the expectation. And at the end, again, we would like to see mastery. So if you notice, for your child to receive an M under composition writing process, all the standards that you see right underneath have to be mastered, not just the one that is taught in that 6 week period. The last page of your standard-based report card deals with the fine arts. And if you notice, there's going to be a grade for art, dance, music, piano, and theater. Same concept applies with the beginning, approaches, mastery, and the asterisk when a particular concept is not taught. Also, the very last part of the standard-based report card talks about Spanish language acquisition, and it gives you an idea of the type of progress that your child is making in acquiring Spanish, in listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Please remember that at the beginning of the school year, you are going to see quite a few of those letter B's. There is no reason to be concerned. This is normal. Remember that the standard-based report card shows the expectations for the end of the school year. If you have any questions, please do reach out to your child's teacher. And please remember that we will be having parent-teacher conferences, and I'm sure that you are going to be able to discuss any concerns at that time, or please do reach out to them if you have concerns, immediate concerns that you would like to have addressed. Your child's teacher will let you know if there are any specific areas of concern. And the beauty about using a standard-based report card is that you yourself as a parent can look at the very specific skills that students need to master in order to be successful. And you can continue to support your child in their development. Thank you so much. And again, please let us know if you have any questions.